Hi gang, welcome back to another episode of Man Time. Today I've got the John Deere 400. The steering spindle has broken. I've got my gazebo set up. I've got my tools at the point of use here. This camping equipment is actually great for us shade tree mechanics. We can set up quickly, have our tools organized, think about our workflow, think about the planning, easily move it around and set it up so everything is at the point of use. And in this case today it's going to be another, this is actually a 100-degree day, not including the feels like with the humidity. So all needed stuff, right? Needed shade, needed water, needed tools at the point of use so we aren't struggling and having to look around and work harder than we need to, right? We need to work and focus on what we need to work on with the equipment that's broken. I've known for a while that this John Deere 400, the steering, the spindles and the front axle were wore out. I've been greasing it regularly, but at some point you've got that oblong hole, which should be a round hole, and that spindle in there moving back and forth, hydraulically driven, just couldn't take it anymore. You've got a hard stop since it's that oval shape as it's moving from one position to the other. Instead of having a solid rotating point, it just finally gave up on me. So I'm going to have to figure out how to either make a bushing that's oblong or drill out that oblong hole to a round hole and then make bushings around those spindles, repair the spindle. So that's kind of the plan. I looked and there was a few other axles. There's used axles available, but they all look like they have the same oblong type of problem. Maybe not to the extent that this mower has. This mower has been fantastic and has always worked well for me, and it worked well for the previous owner, I'm sure, for many, many years. You know, since 1980 or the late 70s when it was made. So, all of you John Deere 400 guys, stick around. We're going to be fixing up a John Deere 400 front steering and front axle. Welcome to Man Time. Okay, so you can see in here that it was well lubricated. The problem is with that amount of slop in there. Another pro tip here. These are your typical Harbor Freight snap ring pliers. They've got an adjustable thing on them and replaceable tips and blah 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 blah. They're junk. They're made in China. They're sloppy, they're disgusting, they make me sick. On the other hand, you've got a quality pair. What's that say there? Made in USA? Oh yeah. That's the good stuff. Nice firm grip on it. There's our snap ring. And there's our spindle. Beautiful. That's why we buy American, folks. That's why we buy American. Okay, there's what happened to the spindle. You can see in this area here, it just sheared off of there. Just sheared right off. You can see it's well greased and well lubed. You know, that's been my defense against this wallowed out axle. It just wasn't enough. The axle was too wallowed out. So we'll have to clean all the grease off of there. Take the other end off of our steering arm here, and you can see I've already switched over to rather than the ball and socket, just a typical what's typically called a Heims end or a Heims joint. And that has made running this mower a lot better. At first, when I got it, I was trying to find new ball and socket joints, and they're just all wore out. So I'll take this apart and I'll show you more of the Heims joint and end what I did there as an upgrade to make this mower more reliable. And get my calipers measure just how wallowed out this is, and then come up with a plan to fix this axle. Okay gang, here is what I got from the store. Some rod ends. These are what I would call a Heims end, or a Heims style rod end. This is the ball and socket joint that would typically have been on this mower, and you can see here that I've replaced out those joints with this joint here. I also found this rod end coming from the hydraulic cylinder that was completely wore out, and so I've got a replacement for that one. They didn't have any of the left-hand thread to replace this ball end here, but this is a fairly new ball and socket joint, so I'm just going to go ahead and put that one back on there. So all of the linkage stuff now is going to be good. I'm going to try to see if I can repair that axle and take some of that slop out of there, maybe with some bushings. Let's dig in and check it out. Okay, so the shaft size here is exactly 1 inch, and I have got a dimension across here of 1.1 inches. 1 inch and 100 thousandths. So my plan was to see if there was a way that I could drill this out and then put a bushing in it. Now, for a bushing, what I like to have is 30 thousandths aside. So 30 thousandths minimum. For a heavy wear item like this, I would probably bump that up to somewhere around 0.1 or 100 thousandths. And I would want probably bronze versus brass, because it is a heavy wear type of area. And what we have here is right about 1.01. So you've got 10 thousandths or 5 thousandths clearance aside, but you can see here, front to back, not very much play. Side to side, just a whole bunch of play. So, well, that's not even the right side. So let's look a little bit closer at this. That's where actually the wheel goes. Okay, so here's the, oh man, look at the wear there. Whole lot of wear right on that area there. So the wear on this piece in conjunction with the wear on this piece, I mean, you can see there, we're just going to continue to keep having this problem, because when it turns and it's under load, it's having to rotate around and it's pushing and rubbing just on a single contact point, where ideally we would want to have a uniform contact point all the way around there. So what I'm probably going to do, what I'd really like to do, is take this down and put a bushing on there, but I also want to make that, instead of an elliptical type of design there, make it perfectly round, and make this perfectly round probably with a bushing. But I have to figure out how I can take this down uniformly, since I can't exactly put it in the lathe, and have it spinning around and around that way. So let me have a think about that.